Okay, I'm going to do a short video on putting all the gaskets and stuff and the carb back on a gcv160. There are other videos on this. In particular, avoid the one by Buck because he puts the spacer on wrong. And if you don't look in the comments, you won't know that he was told it was on wrong. Never on the video does he correct it. There's another one, Motor Medic does it. One does it. He does it by using the original bolts through everything and stacking everything up and putting on. I'm going to use the stud method. Another good one is Eliminator Performance. He does it from the aspect of looking at everything from the motor. So what I'm going to do different is I'm going to do it looking at the motor. So you can see that first gasket is already on, so that's okay. Now I take the spacer, and the spacer has to be put on. It gets put on so that the hole is over to the right and the groove that opens in the bottom is down to the left. Okay, the next thing that goes is a gasket like this that goes on, and you see that hole in the gasket lines up with the hole in the spacer plate. The next thing that goes on is this shield. Apparently some of them have, the shield is not metal, it's like a gasket material so that there's no gaskets involved. Well, that hose out of the way. So now the shield is on, and I obviously need to get a sharper pair of scissors. Now that gasket, similar to the one on the other side, is on the shield, and now the carburetor slides on. Okay, when sliding the carburetor on, you have to make sure that the choke is on that side of that lever for the choke is on that side, because as you pull the choke on, it goes that way to close the choke. Okay, so that's on. Now we're on to another gasket, and this gasket, you can see there's a hole at the top left on the carb. That gasket goes on too. And now you take your plate and Eliminator Performance case. This bracket didn't exist, so there was a metal gasket to make up for the space. So that goes on, and there's a bolt that goes in there. We can tighten that up, and it'll sort of help to hold the carb. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm holding this thing because I have to drop the tripod somewhere else. Okay, so now the air cleaner housing is going to go on that. So there's going to be another matching gasket with the hole, matching gasket, the hole to the upper left to match that air bleed in the carb. And next is, this is the air cleaner housing. Just watch where the bolts are. There's those little bushings in there, and depending what you're fiddling around with, they may fall out. So that now goes on. Actually, put it on correctly. Line up studs. Okay, so now that's on. And so what I do now, that's pretty well finished. What I'm going to do is use the needle nose to get the hose up onto the air cleaner, which I notice is like screwed up, and got it under that mounting bolt for the bracket. But that's basically the end of it. What I'll do is I'll hold it all tight, and I'll back out one of the studs and put the regular bolt in, and I'll probably put this one in here to help hold it tight too once the hose is on. Someone actually, and he's the one that put the spacer on backwards, he actually bought some M6 by 1 threaded rod and cut it to the length of that the bolts would be, and then so he just uses the threaded rod all the time, slides everything on and puts the nut on. That works. I just happen to have a bit of probably 1/4 inch rod that I was able to thread to M6 by 100. But I think that pretty well shows it. Like I say, there's other ones on it, probably just as good or better.